I call it GB Lessons, James.
Okay, here you ready?
Yep.
Alright, like I said before, everything that you know about Counter-Strike, everything you've been playing is pretty much a waste, because if you didn't start playing 6 years ago, then you have, in theory, a person who just started today is 6 years behind. And the only way to get, or 7 years behind, I don't know how long the game's been playing. Back up, bitch. And so my point is, if you've been playing that long, how are you ever going to catch up to people like 3D, K-Sharp, Rambo, all those people? There's no real way. Like, how do you speed the process up? Well, number one, there's two parts to it. Number one, you have to understand the physics and the understanding of Counter-Strike and team play. And the second thing is you have to understand how to extract knowledge from demos and your own mistakes as fast as possible. Because if you don't understand why you were wrong, why you died, say you get outshot is very rarely do I even get outshot, because I don't really get outshot. I get, like, I don't know how to say it. It just, when I get outshot, that's the only way. When I die, it's not because usually I get outpositioned, is the point. Counter-Strike, as far as Cal Invite Counter-Strike, top Counter-Strike is all, don't jump, you're giving me a headache. It's all about positioning, and teamwork has nothing to do with aim. Like, everybody in Cal P has Cal Invite aim to a point. You know what I'm saying? The good players of it can have, and sometimes even better. And that's the example of teams that have grown up playing so stupid that they have to get good with their aim. So hopefully, Garrett, you were one of the guys with amazing aim, just really stupid. And if that's true, then I can add the smart part. The only point is, if you can come from there, you either come from two different ways. You either come from an idiot with aim or a smart person with bad skill. Now, the reason why you're smart is because you have bad skill. The reason why you're an idiot with aim is because, well, why did you ever have to evolve to get smart if you just were so good at Counter-Strike you just headshot everyone you saw? Well, rarely, you know what I mean? So eventually, you'll have to blend in and add both. And that's what most Cal Invite players are, smart people with good aim. But when they play, Cal P teams or average teams, and they do happen to get out-aimed, like, that's where it happens. So, like a team with F2, you know what I mean, they can out-aim people pretty well, but they rarely do not have the ability to outsmart people, in theory. You know what I mean? Maybe they do, maybe they don't, yeah. In theory. So, now, what my point would be for you is, what I said is, you have to watch demos. I told you to watch demos, but you're not going to watch demos and learn much if you don't understand the physics and understand every little detail about Counter-Strike, what to look for, and note it. Because when you watch demos, by my theory, a kid could just watch demos and get good, like real good, real fast. But it takes too long. Demos take a 45-minute period of Counter-Strike. So you know what I mean? Like 45 minutes of a time. Do I have to spend 45 minutes of my time to obtain 45 minutes of their time? No, because I'm never, it's hard to catch up that way. So what you would need to do is you would need, like I said, speed it up the way we speed everything up with the demo commands. You speed everything up. You basically, like, let's just say, did I ever tell you this? Like, if you play B on Dust 2, you would watch, like what I do, go download an entire tournament of Dust 2, meaning every good team on Dust 2, go watch each B player. Watch every every major gun round for him, and then watch it, and speed through, go to the next one. It should take you about 3 minutes to watch a CT side half with the major gun rounds. That's it, 3 to 4 minutes. And what I do is I'm going to talk about demos right now. I do a demo section where basically I go download demos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I name them. Like, I drag them all I download them, they go to my desktop, I rename them 1 through 10, and I have a desktop C-Strike icon that goes straight to my C-Strike folder. I drag them all into my C-Strike, copying over the 1 through 10 that I had previously. Then I watch them all very, very, very fast, and extract the information and write it down on a piece of paper of what I want to save and what I want to have mentally, and I'll explain that later. And then I have it, and I just stole about 10 hours worth of work. I mean, kids like in Europe more than America spend so much time in servers and so much time figuring out their spots and so much time playing and figuring out what works and what doesn't. Well, I personally don't have time for that. I have college, everything, so a girlfriend, I don't have time for that. I have to just go watch them and them do it and them fuck up. And you're always behind. No matter what happens, you will always, always, always be behind the teams that have more time to figure out the new shit, that know these principles. The principles that I have yet to tell you about that have nothing to do with demo watching. They have basic Counter-Strike principles. And I can get to that in a little bit. But with their principles, I wrote down a basic philosophy of Counter-Strike, about 10 strategies. And every map, I wrote down those strategies, and I went to the physics, you know what I mean? And that's how I made my Counter-Strike. And it pretty much, like if I do one strategy on one map, it applies to the other map because it doesn't base off what we do. It's based off how it takes to them. That is the biggest thing I could tell you, the best thing I could ever tell you. It's what you have to, and this will solve your problems in life too. So it's probably one of the most important things anyone will ever tell you in your entire life. It's to think from the other person's perspective, meaning what we don't want. What do we not want to have happen to us on Dust 2 middle/B? What fucking blows? Well, a 3-2B really sucks when I'm trying to op middle and I got a guy in B. It blows. It really sucks. I'm trying to shoot people that are being stupid running around, and they bank a flash off in middle and then throw another one, and I'm running away and they're running out and I'm getting one and getting pinched and I die. It's a bitch. Maybe I can no-scope a guy up here in this corner, but it's still a pain in the neck. So that would mean if I really didn't like that, boom, I write that down. And then guess what? Terrorist side, the moment I see an op in middle, it'd be a pretty good idea to 3-2B this bitch. Now that would be the strategy, okay? It's always about what we don't want. The WWDW. There you go. And fucking think about everything that's bad for you. What you do, and I'll get more onto this, but that's how you have to think. Never, ever, ever, ever think, this is what I like. It doesn't matter what you like. It has to appeal. You just play, you're always a step ahead of them if you think what is gay to them. There's so many millions of strategies that come to your brain once you think of what is gay to you. So as a CT, as a terrorist, you go, what really sucks? What did they do that I don't like? And then you do that as CT, and you do that, and you avoid that as terrorists, and you take precaution. Everything about it is it opens your mind up so much more. So back on subject of the demos, I said that so right now after this conversation, you should download some demos, name them 1 through 10 on a map, on a spot that you're playing, and you should drag them to your C-Strike folder, which you should have made an icon for, shortcut on your desktop, and you should watch them, and you should use play demo 1.1.3. You have it easy, because on GB, technically you won't be an in-game leader, but you can be, very much so. We really could use somebody to speak up, and that's the whole reason why you were recruited. Hold on one second.
Give it to me.
Okay, so, basically, just say, come out there, I like this spot, it's nice and light, it's all dark and shit scary. Might try some gay shit with me in the corner.
Okay.
Okay, so, basically, my point was, if you watch all those demos, what I watch for is we're talking more about demos. I watch, like I said, and now, let me get in detail of exactly what I watch. If I was watching a demo, I would watch pistol round, where they go. But you have to understand what is a good pistol round and what's a bad pistol round. Let's just say this. Let's just say that the guy for pistol round was right here. Alright? And this is where he liked to sit. Okay? That's what he liked to do. And, okay, now that's this pistol round strategy, and they double stack on this box. And they're like, this is a really good strategy. Let's just say they rape these kids, okay? Now, that's all well and good, or let's just say they do this strategy and the team goes to the other site. But you watch this pistol, or this is where they like to go for pistol round, or whatever, and this is where you sit at CT side. If you don't understand Counter-Strike, you don't understand why this is bad. But if they rape them, you're like, ooh, it's good, but it's not good. In theory, it's not good. You're going off theory, not luck, not aim, theory. And I will explain the Counter-Strike theories, and I should beforehand, but I'm doing it backwards, so whatever. Here's what I do so watch Pistol Round and see maybe what they do for how they do it and where the other team plays. So you hurry up, look an overview, see where everybody is, look where they're doing, what's Pistol Round, good. If it's good, if it's actually fundamentally sound as far as an idea, see, there's 3 different pistol rounds I've come to know. There is your standard passive, let's just play pistol. There is another one where you gangbang people and you just all go one direction, and then with armor and shit. And you retake the other place. And then there's pretty much just a retake of a half of a site. One is Iron Man, Iron Fisted, don't come my way. Like, another one's like, I'll spot them and then we'll retake you. So it's kind of like that. So basically, if you understand that, then you understand what's good and what's bad. And anything else other than that is pretty much probably bad because, I don't know, what else is there that's good? You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know it yet. So anyway, on the second round, this is very important. Do you remember how Ted got dropped on that eco round versus Dead Zone? Every fucking time that you drop the bomb, they get bomb planted on Pistol Round, you should know as a CT that they can buy AKs like little faggots and then fucking come at you with full AK, and you know it. So when we know that, and we take according for that, we realize that and go, Dead Zone's coming. I mean, we forget about it because we just don't have it happen to us much, but we still take, you know, into account for it, whether we use our minds or not. You know what I mean? We get lazy. But we still share guns accordingly and drop guns and et cetera, et cetera. So basically the theory would be, okay, I'm going to drop you a Colt, okay? Then when you drop me a Colt, I have a USP and an armor, or not, USP and like a nade and a kit or something, depending on what I kill. And then I get this gun, and so maybe like the bomb site B one would be like, I don't know, this guy, like, it could be like this. The good one would be like, I don't know, if you wanted to, a guy in the back of the site with a Colt or something, you know what I mean? And then a guy in, I don't know, ready to nade or something, you know what I mean? Something stupid, like, or really good is, you know, just a guy in the window with the Colt and a guy with a USP at the doorway or something, you know what I mean? And that way, the Colt is always safe. Like, or no, Colt could be on the ground or something, you know what I mean? Like, the point is, the Colt's down, and if the guy dies, the other guy can just pick it up, and it's like they had a gun to begin with, full Colt head armor. So anyway, you understand that though? Like,
yeah,
it's not hard. So however, if you ever think of a good idea, don't ever think that you don't have a good idea, especially with the way your personality is. But there's 2 things that you need to do, and this is also a personal side note to help you blend in with our team. You can't blend in with GB unless you know everything that we do. And there was one other in-game leader who I've had to play with who, what he did was, he always thought he was right, he always had a little good ideas, and basically I am very enthusiastic about blending in all ideas that you have that I feel are good. Because based off the Counter-Strike philosophies I have, if you can teach me new ones, then I'll add them into my, you know, my thinking, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, and I'm fully open for it. But what you need to do right now is save everything, and then with you know, do your best to like, I don't know how to do this. Don't get impatient because I'm not doing your shit. You have to chill out, and like, if I don't take your ideas right away, because regardless of whether it's a good idea or not, it's not how we're used to playing yet. And we got a CPL, you know what I mean? Just things. Like, there are. So what you need to do is, I will respect everything that comes out of your mouth once you know everything that we do. Once you know everything we do, you can start commenting more. You know what I mean? But what happened is, people that come in that are opinionated start talking already like I care what they have to say, and I'm like, dude, you have no clue what we even do yet. Relax. Learn everything that we do, then talk, you know? So that's what you would do if I was joining a team. I would need to learn everything they have and give them full respect. Now, let me just say the way I work with you. I have full respect for you as a player, but that still doesn't mean, like, just because you have the ability to, you know, to call and to help out communication-wise doesn't mean that I want you causing, like, I say let's go left and you say no, let's go right, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Don't, like, just understand your role, okay? And basically what it would be is like it's like productive helping. It's not negative. You do it like if I was in a pub with Rambo and Rambo said let's go A, and I said okay, I'll go carpet halls, and he said there's an offer in middle, and I'd say okay, I'm going to take middle fast, and he would say no, don't, and I'd say okay, no, I'll go hall slow, or you know what I mean? Like you're allowed to talk, but you just have to look for it to be overridden. Everything you say is okay, but just I get to override it in the end. Is pretty much how it goes until a long time from now. But until you get such a good idea of what we're doing that you can just do whatever you want to do. And that's pretty much how hopefully it'll end up being. And now, here's what I can tell you about, let me think. Okay, back on track. With the demos, with the thing, in theory, you could be the best in bomb site B Dust 2 player or middle player. You could be the best middle player on Dust 2 in probably 1 week. Meaning, in the world, I'm saying. In the world, maybe 2 weeks. At most, maybe watching as many demos as you can every day of the week. It would take you about a week, week and a half. And you would have, and the reason why you would do it is, you write it all down. You write like, and it doesn't mean much. You just have to write like, okay, SK spot, or
I already do that.
You know what I mean? Okay, well you know what I mean though, right? So when you go to land, you just kind of refresh yourself, and there's no way that you could remember for 8 different maps, like 12 different spots for each map of each thing. That's like 90 things to remember, plus playing Counter-Strike. You know what I mean? You can't do it, so you have to write shit down sometimes. Okay, so if you already do it, that's wonderful. Now, what the next thing to do is when you find it, you know about stealing their tricks and the flashes and everything, but so that's great. And so basically you just would need to watch demos on the spots that I ask you to watch, right? Like, but the thing is, we don't know what's going on with our team now, so we don't know which guy you'll be subbing in for on occasion or whatever, or who's if you're better than anyone, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know where to tell you to watch demos. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay, so the next thing would be about the Counter-Strike thing. You can watch demos all you want, but if you don't know what to look for, it's not going to fucking help you. So let me go over some few Counter-Strike things that I learned to look for. Let me just show you this. When I go to B and I throw a flash, if I throw a flash right here, and I'm just running, I just throw this cheesy ass flash. Now that was a good one, but it wasn't that good, okay? And see that flash landed. See that flash is decent, okay? But let's just say that it went a little bit more to the left. In theory, just look. In theory, is if I'm running like this, just rushing to B, like, let's just say it landed like a little more right here. Okay? Right here. Now, if I'm rushing into B as a terrorist, well, what we don't want is to have a flash right in this imaginary lane right here. You know? So I don't want a flash landing in my face there. But if it lands anywhere else, I really don't care, because I can just stay to the left. So see this imaginary lane of Counter-Strike? You know what I mean? Running forward. Okay? Yeah. That's where you want the flashes to land. So anything other than that flash, and by that theory, where do you think the next flash should land for B? If it doesn't matter where you threw it. See if you can figure it out.
Say it one more time. Say it again.
If you were going to show the second flash, where would it land in theory?
In theory, well, it would land a little more behind, because it'd be, by the time you throw your second flash, they'll be farther in the tunnel. Okay,
so where would it go? See, come on, Garrett, you can do this.
I know I can do this. Jesus Christ.
No, you have an answer.
Here.
No, further back. In theory.
Yeah.
In theory, it would be right there. No, in theory, it would be right where I just threw my nade.
The hell? Oh, you're talking about when they're actually in the site? Oh, I thought you meant the tunnel.
I'm just saying for the angles. I know it was a
because they're looking towards it.
In theory, you would want it as far back on the next angle as possible. You see? Yeah. Okay. As long as you get that.
By the time you saw the second flash, they're already so many feet ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, though, you want to throw it to the length of the longest angle as far as possible. Then the next thing would be, if you understand that, you have to figure out where's the best place to throw your nade. Is it to get nading, or is it to get sound? Well, if you nade over the wall, you have a really good idea of where they are a lot of the time. By the way, it doesn't. If they're right here, sometimes it doesn't nade them. It's like retarded. I don't know. You'd have to test it, but it's weird. Like, let me sit here and you throw it over.
Over where?
Yeah, over the wall. Like. Okay, it does. But one of these things it doesn't. It like doesn't hit like right. I don't know. It doesn't like hit like right. It's retarded.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry.
Okay. But my point is, so that would be a good idea for your nade there, because there's really no chance that people there's really no good angle for you to nade that people will be sitting there unless you get right where you're throwing it and then throw it in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a bit. So for your spot for B, the only good nade for you would be that. But my point is, you want to assess your flashbangs, where the first one goes to stop the rush. Counter-Strike is all about stopping the rush to CT. And then after you stop the rush, doesn't matter. But the thing is, Garrett, every time I go B, I go slow B, I know exactly where the guy is. Exactly where the guy is. Because I know where they throw their flashbangs. So if the flashbang landed, like, I don't know, I know where they land on weird angles. Like, I know where they land because I know where to throw them. When I throw them and they land here and I come into B, I'm like, okay, the guy's in the back of the site. Guys, get ready, let's smoke and go. Or the guy's outside of the site, he didn't come in, let's get ready to go, let's flash and go. And I know that because of the way the flashes land, and I can read them and go for it. So if you think about Counter-Strike and physics like that, you'll just, whatever. So it makes it a lot easier. The next thing would be, pay attention, okay, flashes, nades, pay attention to your smokes. There's a new thing that if you throw your smokes and they walk through it, it's amazing. Yay. So, and a lot of times you can do smokes for scaring things. If I was playing middle on that my partner didn't go into B, and he just threw flashes, I would come here and maybe just throw, my smoke up there. And the reason why, just to cut off their vision, and then maybe I could get another guy to throw another smoke up there to scare them, because, whoa, I could just, how do they know I'm not in dark tunnels?
Yeah.
If I possibly scared them by maybe just randomly throwing another flash up from right where you are and then running back to B, guess what? Chances are they'll throw something in dark tunnels, like a flash or something. You know what I mean? Because they're worried.
Yeah.
Or something. And then I'm sitting in B like, all happy partner, just like, ha ha ha, they think I'm in there. And there. Yes. Like,
Basically, you waste time.
Yeah, waste time, trick them into using all their flashbangs, everything. So, like, all of that stuff you can do to, do your shit. So the next thing would be, where you want to have a smoke, I don't know, for some dumb shit, like, for clutch maybe, throw it on in front of you, and then, like, tap the defuse, and they get a little worried, because, some people spaz out, everything. So, after that, so if you have you have to also think of your bullet control, your spamming, your position giving away. Like, a lot of people spam for no reason, just because they're bored and ADD-ish, and it gives positioning away, and they get fucked over because of it. You also have to think of your rotation. A lot of people that like to just buy ops randomly and just play their spots with ops don't think of, they go, yeah, like of course, opping in the back of B makes your job so much easier, but if they go A, what are you going to kill? You know what I mean? Yeah, so my point is, you also have to think about your rotation more than you have to think about your spot. And if you ever get to the point where you're getting screwed over because you can't switch up your playstyle, because you don't op and they know it, so they take advantage of you, aka long A on Dust 2, they just start walking up because they know you're not opping it, and you just, you know what I mean? You have to use your teamwork or switch it up. You can switch it up, but your whole team has to adjust off of that. You know what I mean? If you're opping, it changes everyone's playstyle, not just yours. So it changes everyone else's rotation. So, you know what I mean? That shit has to be well noted, and that's why we just don't randomly op when we feel like it, because it changes so much of the game, that we don't know what's going on half the time if people just do that, so we don't allow it. We do it if it definitely needs, like, You know, like you need to do it because you know you're going to kill them if you change your playstyle up. You know what I mean? But a lot of times if we have an op, we just share it between people. Like there would be nothing wrong if you were playing B and Ted had an op and he was doing shit at long A and they knew he had it. The basic theory with an AWP is if you have an AWP and they know it, you should trade it off or off a different spot of the map. Because the only reason why an AWP is good now with 32-bit smoke is if they don't know that you have it. If you have an AWP and they know it, consider yourself fucked from good teams because they're just going to smoke you out and flash you and you're never going to get a shot off unless you spam and if you get some amazing no-scope and you're still going down anyway. But chances are, and you could have done a better job with a Colt because if they thought you had an op and they executed early and you're a little closer with a Colt, it's a hell of a lot easier. Or if they run through you to the smoke and you have a Colt rather than an op, then you're a better choice. You have a better plan of act. Yeah, you're better. So that's why. That's the theory. If they know you have an op, don't use it. Like, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the next thing would be, so if about your playstyle and your rotation going to places, you need to know exactly. This is when you watch demos, you need to look for how people rotate more than how you watch your spot because you've played your spots a long time. You have pretty good and comfortable things from being a pretty good player, but you probably never really, really thought about how to rotate. And I mean everything. So if you haven't fully thought about exactly how to rotate, it's a total new sport. Think of it more important than anything else. Because let me tell you, you will be twice the player you are if you can hold your shit, but you're not important to go to the other way. You know what I mean? So it's like you really need to concentrate on watching demos like that. That's where you get a lot of experience. Now the next thing would be, you as a player on this team, you're pretty much a go-getter, somebody that makes things happen. Now, on the same respect of that, you have to do that in sync with everyone else, okay? Because if you're not, then you're not doing, you're just like everybody else is just randomly pushing, okay? So that's something that you can find out more about. Sorry, I'm yawning. But I'm going to end this soon, but I'll teach you, basically, you have to figure out, like, you can't be always making things happen. You can make things happen with us at the same time, but you can't just, like, put it this way. You wouldn't want to go offensive on B and me go offensive on A on Inferno. Well, you would, but, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You just can't, like, or else you're just, like, dead zone. You know what I mean? You're all over the place. Like,
yeah.
You got to, like, pick your battles, as you know what I'm saying. And if we're both picking our battles at the same time all the time, we're not as strong as if we would if we just did one at a time sometimes. Now, on Terracide, it's totally different. But, okay, anyway, back on the subject, okay, I'm going to talk about Counter-Strike fundamentals. And I know this is stupid, and I know you probably know this, but I'm going to say this. And I'm going to say this really fast because I don't want to embarrass you to think that I think you don't know it.
Don't worry.
Okay, here we go. It's really simple. But the physics of an M4 is 5 bullets to kill somebody without a headshot, and it takes 4 bullets to shoot somebody with recoil. If you don't know what I mean, on the 5th bullet on this right here, there's no recoil on that whatsoever. The tapping, no recoil whatsoever. On the 5th bullet, it skyrockets like a motherfucker. It might as well be off the map. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, long distance. Because you only really want to tap long distance. So you don't ever, like, what you would want to do is if you saw somebody long distance, in my opinion, is kind of like, you know what I mean? Like the tapping.
I use that more as an AK.
Okay. Now, the AK, I just wanted you to know the actual physics of it. And by the way, the silenced cold is stronger up close than the unsilenced cold, but this one is more powerful long range, and the other one's less powerful long range. Yes. So, if technically, in theory, if you were going to go close range, use the silencer, and if not, use the unsilencer. And it's all in your basically preference, but check that into it.
Yeah.
So silence is basically, think about it as I don't know, it's really weird. Just stronger close range, weaker long range, and weaker close range. Yeah, Ted has a whole huge website about this, and
Here, let me just take 2 shots on you. Okay, stay still. Interesting.
Is it? Does it show it?
9 damage with silence, and 7 without.
Really? There you go.
Yeah.
You didn't know that, did you? At least you learned something, maybe.
Fuck. Again 9. Oh, that was 8.
Okay, but it's still, trust me, you're too close.
Yeah.
You're close range. I'm just saying, trust me. It does make a difference. Now, what I was going to say is, okay, so basically, you can't ever you don't, the biggest, remember I told you, this is the biggest thing of why I'm telling you this, what we don't want. You remember that? You can kill people any way you want, Garrett, but the point is, can they kill you? Well, look at your screen. See what I mean? You can't shoot anybody when that happens. You see what I'm talking about, though, Garrett?
Yeah.
Yeah? No?
Yeah, I know you.
So your body's shaking like crazy. No.
Yeah, I've always noticed that. When it sounds cold, it's a bitch long range. If someone's shooting you with it, you can't run away.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean this. When I'm spraying at you, it's basically it goes. It goes like this. If I was spraying, the next bullet goes like that. So I have to reel that one back in. So in theory, when I'm shooting at you, when I'm spraying at you, medium and long distance, it goes like this. It goes like this. Stand still. Hold on, you don't move. Like that's what you see on your screen. But watch on your screen right now. You're not able to shoot me, is the point. And that's why I'm saying it's a pretty big deal about tapping. So you can try it on your own with everything. I know you know how to do it. But just know that 3 bullets with an AK and 4 will kill somebody. 4 bullets with an AK, no body armor and everything. Just don't, all 4 body shots will kill him. 3 body shots are no recoil. The 4th one goes off the fucking charts. Of course, they had to make counter-shake really difficult for us because if they didn't, anyway. So if you didn't know that, great. Now the other thing would be to know is about nades. I don't know if you know that, but they do more damage in close proximity. Like did you know that? Like nades actually. If I'm in this corner and you nade me, like about the same distance as if I was way over out here, it would do less damage.
Less damage?
Well, less damage out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like real life. Okay. The other thing would be on pistol. And let me check this out. If you let me restart by guns. This is very, 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 very important. I have mastered the art of being that gaily. Okay. So let me show you one thing. When you run this map, the best thing is you want to kill people that are running forward, never sideways, because people are prone, left and right strafe. But the moment they run forward, they have to tap backwards, and nobody taps backwards. They go and they tap left and right strafe. All right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're running forward to kill people. So a good spot for me on catwalk when shit hits the fan is right here.
When they're running up the stairs.
Well, no, I like this one. Like when shit hits the fan and everyone's dying, and I'm right here, they start running forward. Sit there. They start running forward, right? Like they just start going, yeah, here we go, and they just start coming you know what I mean? They start coming around the corner there.
And then there's the occasional guy that'll run out and do this.
He's just like, yeah, I cheat, and I know
He'll be the one that kills you.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, in theory, you know what I'm saying. So when you open your eyes,
you want to catch him while they run.
You want to catch them while they're running forward.
Exactly.
So there's an imaginary lane, and this is more so something like this. Check this out. Do you know about the USP, how many bullets? Can you guess how many bullets it takes to kill somebody with body armor on a pistol round? USPs. You know how many it is?
Let me see. On a pistol round without armor?
Yeah, pistol round versus pistol round. How many bullets a USP takes to kill a body armor clocker?
6.
No, it's almost 8 or 9.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so basically, you know what I'm right. Just go back there. I want you to see it. Go T. By body armor. I want you to see it though. You really can't feel it. Go T, Garrett.
Oh.
Oh. Stay back there. Stay back there. That was 8 shots. Okay. So basically, you see my point, right? Now,
yeah.
just for principle, come here. Same thing. Now you know because I have bad aim, I'm not gonna hit this shot. Ah! Okay, what health do you have?
16.
Okay, now normally, you know what I mean? Normally, at medium distance, come CT, you're going to kill a guy, okay? So my point is, there is no, just imagine yourself as having now a James Amick crosshair, that anytime, dynamic crosshair, anytime that you shoot a USP and you spam it, you're not going to kill them. Just think of that. Just think, there's no point in spamming my USP. I don't care if the guy's like this, blocking you like, rawr, rawr. If you can just go, get off me, bitch, like swatting a fly. If you can do that, and you can hold yourself, courage under fire type of thing, and just go, dude, hold and just shoot 1 bullet or 2 bullets.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like,
I've been trying to do it lately.
Okay. Well,
Like, just shoot slow with USP so you can focus
I'm not
on the
trying
headshot.
to teach you anything that you really don't know. I'm just making you more conscientious of it. You probably know it in the back of your mind, you know? So anyway, so when you're seeing them, just take care of like the 1 or 2 bullets. Especially, let's just say if you're, I don't know. Let me just show you something. I like this. Our pistol, this comes into pistol rounds. Let me tell you, where would, in theory, if the best place to catch people running forward, see if you can make a pistol round up on this map.
Oh,
catch people, catch blockers, running forward, nice headshot lanes, pick them. Show me where you would make a CT pistol for this.
On B?
Everywhere, but just go ahead.
Like,
go show B first.
Running forward. Well, if they're running forward, this whole area right here, they're going to have to run forward. They can't run side to side.
Right? So you would run back
So
here.
if you're in the back there, halfway showing, you can take slow shots and try to hit the head.
Okay, so there's one spot.
Now,
B.
also,
also,
another thing you could do is, when they even come out, they still need to run to either there or the back of the side. So they're still running forward. So technically, you could have a guy back there, and then even when a guy's over here, or wherever in the back of the side, they're still running straight.
Yeah.
Or you can even have them boosted on here, on the ledge.
Alright, well, as long as, okay, so show me about middle. How do you do middle?
Let's see.
See if you can figure it out.
Well, when they come out of double doors, right? When they get to around right here, they have to run straight or to the side.
Okay.
So, when they're rushing out middle, I don't know, they usually have to run straight from like...
You're thinking inside the box. Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Or think next to the box. That was a hint. Well, what I've come up with is the best place is right here. Having one guy here, because they walk forward from dark tunnels here.
Oh, I know that. I thought you meant like actually in the middle.
I know. I just think next to the box.
Yeah. Because when they come down those stairs, the only way they can go is forward.
Yeah, it's forward. And then the next guy could be right here, kind of. Technically. Like if he's, you know what I mean? Like a good long...
The only problem with that is they have a lot more room to move side to side.
Yes. But you back off. And then the next guy could be, in theory, maybe, right here again, just spotting at least, you know...
Yeah, because they have to run forward.
Okay, so that would be a good pistol. So my point is, now you make sense of this, and you really don't put yourselves in that many positions to be able to, you know, at least just get that headshot, because you just need 1 or 2 bullets to win the round. Alright, so with that said, you can now know every good pistol and every bad pistol. You know what I mean? What's good, what's bad. Now the other thing is, with gun rounds, do they stop the rush or do they leave them themselves open. A team that on Inferno runs and triple boosts in A without stopping the rush from Pava and Post, which is the right middle wall and the left middle wall by the front of house. Do you know what I'm talking about? The counter flash from both sides. You know what I'm talking about?
You kind of lost now.
Okay, Inferno, and you're on the right side of middle by CT spawn opera thing. You counter flash and kill them. You know that.
Yeah.
On the same spot on the left-hand side near house, you can counter flash and kill them too, okay?
Yep.
The right side we call Post, the left side we call Pava, only because MIBR Pava was the first person that really started counter flashing and raping bitches there. And we saw it on a demo. But yes, so anyway, we call it that, the long lane, the highway, but you'll learn all that shit anyway. Okay, so the next thing you could learn for your spots is basically what I was just saying is just you wouldn't want to go triple boost first, because if they rush you, then why are you boosting? So you've got to set up for the rush before you do any gay slow shit, okay? So you don't ever get rushed and say, fuck, whatever, that's stupid. You say, wow, I'm dumb, I didn't prepare properly. I didn't think rush first, everything else later. You know what I mean? You have to prepare.
Yeah. The only downside to that is when, like, okay, you stop the rush, blah, blah, blah. Now you're going to boost, and then they hit exactly when you're boosting.
Rarely does that happen.
Yeah, I know. That's the only downside, I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, that's the downside of, there's much more downside of people rushing first.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you can't play everything, but you do your best to make everything as even playing field as you can. So the next thing would be, if you watch them stop the rush and you watch the pistol rounds and you watch, now if they don't stop the rush, how do they do like tricky shit? Like, what is their thing? What is the thing they use to angles? Number one, remember I was telling you about, the walk running forward and then the shit? Well, also there's this, kind of like, I call it spider sense kind of thing. And you're just like, that sense where you're like, the theory is, as terrorists, when do you execute? When do you go any further, or does the jig up once it happens? Basically, you'd have to, in theory, for B on Dust 2, you'd have to be ready to go before you even peek this spot. That little in the left corner. You'd have to be like, guys, you ready? Okay, if I get shot, you ready to go? You know what I mean? And then get ready. And then, like, basically you just go, ready, and then get to the window and be like, I'm going to peek window, get ready. Peeking window, nothing. Okay, nothing. Get ready to execute. Now get ready to execute, all right? On 3, 1, 2, 3, and go. And then tell everybody where to throw shit and blah, blah, blah. Now, my point is, once you get to that point, now a lot of teams go like this, and they just go and go past it. Like this. This is, here's about timing. When you have timing, you know about Counter-Strike. This is what I suggest you to do. Before you watch any demos, as terrorists, there's the main things you need to understand. In theory, let's do terrorists. Okay, kill yourself and watch my screen. This is the last point I'm going to tell you for right now. This is all about positioning and crosshair placement. Crosshair placement is, you need to watch demos as terrorists, Garrett, to be absolutely amazing, to add crosshair placements to gay spots. To add every crosshair placement in every execution, because if you do have every crosshair placement, which you have a lot because I watched your demos and I specifically looked for it, if you don't have every one of them, then you're putting yourself up to get gayed one round that could be the most important. Secondly is, if you know how to do all the crosshair placements, and chances are you're going to have to get to the point where you're going to execute. And if you don't know how to execute every place properly, then you might want to look into Counter-Strike and like figure out your... So anyway, my point is, you would come here, and in theory, let me show you something. Let's just say that if the guy was camping on this wall or something, and he, I don't know, stupid, and he saw you, and he saw come out and get you once he sees you. So if you go like this and go, oh, saw him, like he'll run to you, you'll kill him. But anyway, you do this little jiggle peek and shit, and if he's not there, or you do one of these, like, that little, like, thing people do where they do that little... Okay, if you do that, okay, no problem. Then you'd have to go, see, a lot of people don't check for this, ever. Like, they don't check a guy crouching there, okay? And a lot of people just go like this, Garrett. They go, what's going on? And they look directly at that guy, and then this guy blasts him in the face, and they go, and they can't do it. doesn't matter how fast the reaction time is, this guy's going to win because of crosshair placement. So you got to go, what's going on in the next box? What's going on? What's going on here? And maybe jump across, you know, the next thing and see what's going on in the back. Lead forward, come up. Now this is what I do. I come up in the middle of the hall almost, and I go, what's going on here? Okay? You always want to be to the furthest extremity to the thing because you can catch their shoulders before they check yours. Now the next thing would be, or on sometimes. Ted has a thing to that. But anyway, so you come back here, and you know, you scan up top of the box, and you crouch peek this bitch, ready to shoot him. Okay? Because I always normally kill this guy. And if nothing's there, you can crouch peek this guy right here to this box. Okay? Because that's a very, very important spot. And then check right here, and then you just come out, and then you just get ready to go. Now, based off this, Garrett, if you just came in just like this, watch me. Okay, go to B, guys. Follow me. Okay, get ready. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to check it right. Hold on. All right, hold on. Nothing. Okay, ready, go. You know what I mean? Now, look at this. Where am I? Where am I looking? On theory, you could go like this, Garrett. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, and I'm right here. Now, coming in the back of banana, you could be like this. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. I know you're there, bitch. And then he's not there. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. I know you came in now, in theory, and look for his shoulder, and he'll be aiming to the door, or I can't tell you how many times, because I understand timing, I get this, and they're like this, and I blast 4 motherfuckers, and stuff like that. And so that's where my random timing comes from. I imagine it in my head, okay, I know he's walking out, and I know he's there, and he's coming, and he's peeking the door, and I got him now, 5 seconds. And then I'm like, okay, he's not there. Okay, but now he came, because he's cheating, and now I'm not looking. So 1 minute, and now he's coming, 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, I pretend every time I check and he's not there, I pretend he just came afterwards. That is your random peak time. That's where it comes from. It's not random. It's precise. And then the next thing, so once you understand that, you would come with, you could do this. I like doing this. I like our smokes. Like, you could, watch this. The smokes are being thrown, smoke, like, before we even peek. And then we just come here and we'd be throwing 1 flash off the box and come in, headshot bitches. And that the flash lands for this guy, you know what I mean? Even the window sometimes. That flash blinds everyone. So if I came and did one of these, boom, boom, you know what I mean? And then just came like this, who's killing me? Smoke for the back, flash for the everywhere here, and a flash over for the door. You see my point? Like, that's a pretty good execution. And you need to figure out exactly what yours is. Like, watch demos if you don't want to spend the time in the server and do it yourself. What my point is, Garrett, you can spend all the time in the servers, but I don't have the patience for that. So if you don't want to spend all the time in the servers and figure it out, it's always good to just get other opinions, aka demos. So the next point is, you understand the timing, Garrett. Now, check this for the crosshair placements. You understand that you'll add more. You know what I mean? And you're gonna own bitches. But now, in the same respect to that, Cody, watch normal crosshair placement. They go.
You said Cody.
What? I'm sorry, Garrett. I did Cody too long. Basically, I did. Guy comes here. And he goes, "Is there a guy in the back? This height?" I guess not. Okay, he goes like this, and then he goes, he just goes like this. I guess there's no guy there, and he leaves his crosshair. And I sit right here, Garrett. I go like this, and I go, I know you're there. I know you're there. I know you're there. You know what I mean? And sure as shit, I catch these dudes, and when I like this, I go, gotcha, bitch. And you should see, like, he's like entire body is out. Like, I lead him into my trap. I'm like, yep. And then I got him in his full, like, he's way out here and shit by the time, like, you know what I mean? Like, see how exposed I am when I see this, right? You see this?
Yeah.
Like, I run away. Look how long that guy can see me for, like, ever, way back here. So that guy's not. You see my point though? How gay it is? The gayness. Now the next thing is, watch this. When I walk in and I'm just like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Blast it from the window. What the gay? You know what I mean? What the gay?
Yeah.
So that's what I do. Or I do this. I love this spot. I go, alright, so that means I should put my crosshair right about here, right? And that's just when the guy's not looking at me, in theory, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next thing is, you got to jiggle peek. If you know anything about Counter-Strike, then you know that think about it. Think about this on my screen. Look at this. Here is the server. Here is your computer, and here is the other guy's computer. Well, if he is moving and you're stationary, you tell the computer, like, this guy's moving. So you're like, this guy's moving, and the signal goes to the computer, and then the signal goes to him. Well, if your computer is saying, I'm at the box, I'm at the box, I'm behind the box, I'm behind the box, I'm behind the box, and this guy goes, I'm attacking and I'm moving towards the box, I'm attacking and I'm moving behind the box. The information received is older, and so this information is always going to hit, he's going to get this information before, you know what I mean? You're never going to get the new information before he gets it, because every time he has to move, he has to send it, it has to go here, and then it comes to you, right? So it's never going to, you're never going to beat him if you're not moving. That's why kids with ADD are pretty damn good at this game, in theory, you know, and like they always make a lot of kills, because it's easier. Do you find it easier to kill people when you're moving around rather than just sitting still?
Yeah.
Well, that's why. That's why. Because you know what I mean? Do you understand how it's always lagged? Because the guy that makes the move is the person that's on top with the timing and the, you know what I mean? But on land, Okay. Well, on Source it's really, really bad because they cleaned up all the it's like really weird. So it's just like, it's so stupid. Anyway, like the guy moving always kills people. In Source, you just can't kill a guy standing still. You might as well just run around and shit and do circles and shit. This is the way it works. So dumb. Anyway, so my point is you'd want to jiggle check this and catch a shoulder, catch a shoulder, catch a shoulder, catch a shoulder. Like, you don't have to, Garrett, but just understand, like, if you just get one bulleted, you know, you'll understand why, okay? So, is there any questions about the crosshair placement and the how to walk on servers and shit and stuff? You need to, when you watch Terracide demos, Garrett, you can watch to go for every position you go and watch crosshair placement. And basically, you should have aimbot, is my point. You should have aimbot, meaning you will have faster, quicker reaction times more than anybody else because you will never have your customer. Let me show you what I do on Catwalk, okay? Just one time. That's what I do, and you'll understand this. When I go Catwalk and maybe somebody flashes for me or I get here, let me show you what I do. Once I get to this point, hold on, who's calling me? Hey.
Nice cell phone ring.
Oh, God.
Is that Michelle?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, man.
Alright, yeah, my bad. I got rid of her. Okay, shut up, dude. Okay, now what I would do is basically I could get somebody to flash for me here, or if I just wanted to do it dry, I would just come like this. I could go, who's on the box, who's on the box, who's on the crack, you know, just who's on the box, who's on the crack. What's going on? And then he would just get headshot from the guy up top, okay?
Yeah.
The box, what's on top of this, and even if I see him, you know, like I'm moving so fast that, because basically, how do I have to move, Garrett? I either have to walk out, okay, walk out to kill this guy, which is slow, or I have to go like this, and then I have to walk out and straight the other way when I see him, right? So people have to do it walking. If you do it this way, it's like so fast, Garrett, you're like, oh, man. You know what I mean? Like so fast. So this new jiggle, it's like you ever see a sloth at the zoo? He's like, going up the branch now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, they do it for the zoo because they're stealthy, and they look like they'll leave for some shit. I don't fucking know. But understand that, so it's like your covert mechanism, you don't get a headshot. And you're coming up, and you just come up and be like, oh, and you know, you catch a shoulder. You can catch a shoulder so you don't get a headshot planted. Just be like, what's going on? And you can check all the shit, and you come up. I just come up and they come like this, and sometimes you don't want to. You want to move away a little bit so you can move your hitbox. Like you want to be against the back of the wall, and a lot of people go like this, Garrett. I come like this, and a lot of people go like this. What's going on? and then they get blasted from the guy on top. So when I come here, I'm like, you know, I mean, I don't crouch for the bottom one, but you can crouch for the top one, right? And then come on here and then jump up and down. But you see, people just, you know, and then a lot of times they run to this side, so this guy, and this guy, right? So that's my point. You could add the jiggle check to your maneuvering because of you know, like you understand what's going to happen is this dude's going to go, he's going to see you, and he's going to slam the wall, and then you're going to come and kill him, okay? Because his crosshair's not on you. Or he's B, going to, like, chase you, and then you just kind of, like, hear it and just go,
yeah,
ha ha, you know, and own him. And you win because it's just the way it works, all right? Other than that, I really don't have any information for you other than to watch demos and become an amazing player. There's a little more, Garrett, but that's pretty much the gist of it, okay? And the motivation to do it is, let me tell you the biggest thing. I told you the two main things about Counter-Strike. The one is what we don't want. Always think what we don't want. Go terrorist and think, like I said, you pick your spots or know what's good, know what's bad. Pick your spots from those and pick your spots from your own play style and go, you know what, dude, it really fucking blows when when I try to walk out of here and I don't know where to look and so yeah, and then pick multiple spots, you know what I mean, where they're not going to be looking at that, and then so you could just sit right here in the window and go, yeah, you know, like you know what I mean, right here about or something, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like basically, this all where you have to worry about most players. There we go. Anyway.
What?
There we go. All right. Well, thank you, Les.
Bomb plant guy here, and another guy would be right here, like in theory, and have another guy in dark tunnels or something. And so this guy would just be like this, hiding, flashes come over, and then he would just go like this. They're coming, the other guy would say, I got your window, and this guy would go, I got your door, and you hear them flashing over, and then they come in, and you're like, gotcha, bitch, and then you hide away. You know what I mean? Gotcha, bitch, and then you hide away. Okay? So, alright, like that's a really good bomb plant setup that we do. That's just my point. Like, there's always bomb plant setups. There's always good things to do. So that's something to pay attention to. You ever use that box?
Oh, God. There we go.
I'm gonna turn the demo off. But the only thing left that I can say, I think that's pretty much it. Maybe other than spam spots. Oh, one last thing I can say about spam spots. This is stupid, but you always want to like mark yourself. Like if you know that when they run catwalk and there's this lane that they like to run, mark yourself with shit. Like just don't go like I always go ooh right on the third and the fourth lane. You see these lanes right here? I like to spam right between them, and that's like the perfect spot. And I like to stand all the way to the back, so I like range them all, and then I can hit this one right here, And my point is, you always want to have like a certain place, like, okay, put my back to the light pole, and then aim, you know, like in theory, like, okay, on the third one. You know what I mean? Like, you want to line it up. You don't want to do it with the exact spans, but you don't know that.
Kind of like on news,
like
when you're watching when you're low and you're standing.
Yeah, you have to know exactly so that you can always do it. Oh, there's one other. No, I think that's pretty much it. But no, I guess the one last thing, Garrett, once you start thinking of your own terminology, like if I'm playing long A, you know what I mean? Like, or no, catwalk. This is really, if I was playing middle, one of the most communicative parts of the map, I would call, you know, top B, lower B. You know, like I would have names for, I don't even know what to call them. I would have names for if they're up in there, inside there, or they're in here, like coming down the steps, or they're right there at this archway right here. I would have names if they're boosted on this box. I would have their names if they were trying to come out middle or just hanging out right here. I would have names if they're back here. I would have very good description if they were here, here, or here, or coming around the corner to go there as middle. I'd have a description of the noise that they make, the smokes that they throw, the number of smokes, the flashes, what they're accomplishing. Are the flashes coming out and throwing shit like, by the way, that was the flash I wanted you to throw, so that I could just go, so that I could go boom, and then it go. I would want to know, like, what flashes are they throwing to, you know, exactly. What are they doing? And like, because basically, every nade, every smoke is a person, so you can count them and you know exactly where they are. So based off your communication, you can really have really good communication if you fully did paint a picture with your words of the description that you're playing to really help your teammates. That's why I like you. That's why I wanted you on my team, because you had really good communication. But I'm making it more detailed of what I expect so that you can have really good communication. Paint a picture of where they are. Okay. You can stop the demo. Do you have any questions or anything else you can think?
No, not really.
Okay.